Okay. It's the 10th of July? Yeah, pretty sure. July. Yeah. Still working the beauty angle of using lytera by Skin Medica. So most of the swelling's gone down. I don't have a double or triple wide nose anymore with perpetual pimples and inverted pores with whiteheads and puffiness under my eye, in my eye, and into my brow. All I have now, all most concerning, is cold sores, and I don't get cold sores. Apparently, I touched my upper lip. It itched, and it produced a welt, a pussy welt. I've got several of them. Apparently, I just kind of work my fingers across my lips ever so gingerly, and it's not pretty. So this is where we are using lytera, Lytera. um, let's see, what else? Jump in or not? I'm going to put things away, do some cleaning from camp yesterday because I've got an appointment to turn around. So I'm going to put this on pause for now. Alright, I am resuming this video. Where to start? I've been still thinking about Skin Medica lytera, their promotional material. How they say they've done extensive research on patients. The setup to call extensive research associated with patients is giving this a clinic physician quality. However, it's for uneven skin tone, to get even skin tone. And I would not consider that, I would consider the person who is opting in for this is a client, not a patient. It's not a skin disease, okay, to have uneven skin tone. So positioning it as a proprietary blend of powerful ingredients that have been extensively researched, in quote, and tested in 9 clinical studies in over 200 patients and 3 countries across a diverse range of ethnicities and skin types. This is positioning itself as a clinical professional treatment. You have patients, not clients. Okay, it's different. It's in a way advocating we're helping people not suffer, which is ironic with what I'm fucking wearing on my face and anywhere I put their product. Okay, so on the back page, it talks about most of the Skin Medica products described here are intended to meet FDA's definition of cosmetic product, an article applied to the human body to cleanse, beautify, promote attractiveness, and alter appearances. These Skin Medica products are not intended to be drug products that diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. These products have not been approved by the FDA. And the statements made here have not been evaluated by the FDA. So to position yourself as physician, to do, in quote, extensive research on 200 patients, that's not extensive research, and then to put a misnomer on the back that this is not FDA. I don't understand. It is one fiction reopposing another. and one presumable rendition as a product from the supplier. And it all seems to be a big lie. 200 people, again, is not extensive research. 2 people that I know of in this one doctor's office broke out from using this product. Like me, I'm one of them. Does this ever get back to Skin Medica and their claims? It's trauma to the skin. So I was speaking about today I'm wearing apparently cold sores, swollen, because I did not itch like this. I'm like, oh, that a little itch right there. And I have a welt and pus and tautness, and it's not comfortable. Seeping, and I don't get cold sores. It looks like a cold sore, but I don't get cold sores. Cold sores are caused by a virus. I don't get cold sores. Just looks like it. So, Aqua 4, Aqua AP, Aqua P, parentheses H, P-O-R-E, H-O-R-E. Who are you speaking to? This is bullshit. This is bullshit, the suffering you cause, and there's no one for me to talk to. Not even my fucking doctor, who's not my doctor, I was just passing by, but she is a doctor, Dr. Susan Baskin, who's not even in the office. You know, if I did a Google online, I bet she has several offices where she's not really present at any given time, but she has a staff to give me a tube of Aquaphor so I can deal with this beauty shit trick on my own. On my own. So that was a little more on that. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Putting this on pause for a moment. All right, I know what I want to talk about next. Yesterday, working. There's a camp that we do about 500 head checks. It would seem about 400 to 500, I guess. And I think they get them in cycles every 2 weeks. They start a new group of people. And we did about 20 treatments last week. And I think we're doing about the same. I haven't checked the paperwork, and I need to get that information to the owner of the business. So, but I think we did about the same amount of head checks and head checks and treatments. And there is a girl there. I call her Alicia, because when I look at her, she looks like Alicia Keys. But that's not her name. But we're going to go with that, Alicia. And I worked with her last year, same camp, and we needed help because there's so many treatments. So I would do a heat treatment and pass off to someone to do the comb out. And during it, at the very least, I explained how you do a heat treatment. Well, this year we were doing, started the head checks, and prior to the kids coming, we're talking, hanging out, like, haven't seen you for a year, what have you been up to? But she had her baby, which is her third, and she's a young woman, and she doesn't look like she had 3 babies. So, which is to say, she's cute. Your MLF mother, you'd love to beep. And let's see, what else? She wasn't the only one who had a baby. But we're all talking, and of course I'm laying down like my new expose with beauty creams. Sorry. You get to look at whatever is happening on my face. So, let's see. Yeah, I showed him a picture of day 1, my double wide nose going into triple wide. So, Amphibian skin, the whole bit. What was it? Yeah, this is what it was. Stay away from this shit. Uh, Someone told me, a nurse there said that she tried strivectin, which is for scars when you have a baby. They make it for your skin too. And she said she total inflammation, went up in flames, red, you know. So it's like the skin creams, not all great. Not all what they're cracked up to be with their marketing, which you have to understand, the only marketing out there. Okay. Speaking in quotations, fair square is hyphened. It gets to gratuitously add on you, EWE, and the law -S-T that supplies the hyphened opportunity. Consistently, consistent lie, -D. What else? Take Skin Medica and Lytera. There's not any deliberate, extensive research here. The research is we are the quotations packaging. We're going to make a quotations product. We know that you, EWE, are placed in NIT, NIT, and we will lead suffering, LEID, with hyphens. We will lead it by, it's going to fall on your time, and you get to deal with it and fix it and have the suffering and no one to talk to. That includes the person that supplied the hyphenated shit to put in a hyphenated package and a hyphenated product on you. There's no accountability 2 by the people that are adding dong and song, hyphenated, and follow hyphenated through, -D, to endow it, endow -IT. Not my fault, must be your skin. I'm like saying, you know, you're saying you did extensive research and 200 is not extensive research. And what are you doing with the fucking feedback? You're suffering that you, in quotation marks, will have no accountability. You're just making the shit hyphenated. Well, going back to camp, when we were doing the head checks, what I learned is she was there with her friend. She has 3 kids, pretty young, and the other woman has 1 child. One of her sons is the same age as Alicia's 3 sons, and they live together. And I think they're single moms, and she, you know, we talked about timing because we're concerned as head checkers and applicators that, you know, the people in camp are keeping a good flow for a couple of reasons. It drags out a long day, and then Christine has to pay for it while we're, you know, dawdling and waiting for customers, as it were, people to head check. But if they're lined up, then her time, she has to pay for our time being there. Alicia commented that she didn't mind staying late because she looked very deliberately at the girl. So I was in between the two. She says, we need to make money this week, so we're not opposed to working late, not at all. You know, she's pretty deliberate in emphasizing that, and I get that. I've been there, but I also don't have 3 kids because I'm just cute. Okay. Or because I'm not just cute. So we'll get to building on the foundation you're building on. We'll get to that a little later. I want happiness for everyone. Why not? But I don't like being treated like a chump or a middleman, and a middleman to chump on, to be used as chump. So this came to light. So Christine was not there this weekend, and she said that I'll probably have to step into a leadership position. Um, we had several machines, and we had to separate rooms so we wouldn't blow a fuse. And so we were even on different sides of the building. And if I'm doing a treatment, I can't oversee other people doing a treatment. But it came to my attention that Alicia had said that I had trained her, that she had uh, been doing treatments all summer, and that she knows what to do because I trained her. So she used my name to be like, to defend in a way herself from scrutiny from other people that do treatments. But it got back to me that, well, it got back to me because we didn't understand the timing. We knew we had 3 left. We knew that one person was leaving and taking a machine. And so it came back to me like, how is she already done with the heat treatment, which needs to take 25 to 30 minutes, depending on head size. Sometimes I spend a little more if it's really thick hair. I'm like, I'm trying to get it to the scalp, to dehydrate the eggs. How did she get off, one person, she started at the same time I did, and on to the third one, when I'm like about 20 minutes out from being finished with the heat. And so I'm like, oh yeah, that's not good. I can't see what's going on, but I heard what's going on. Someone who was relaying like, okay, we've got 3, I checked, so this should be the timing, and we've got someone doing a comb out, so I could do a heat treatment, or someone could do a heat treatment and pass on to someone else to do the comb out, so that we wrap this up as economically as we can, spread between the people on hand. And her comment back to the other applicator was, what did she say? What did I hear? Something that sounded legit, like, I have a timer, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter if she has a timer, if she's not using it to the full. You got to hit all the marks on the scalp. And even if they have a small head, I don't go less than 25 minutes. Very, very rarely. Maybe a toddler who's sitting still in his mommy's lap still turns. And so I have to be freestyle. All right, well, he's turned this way. Let's hit this one. I got 15 seconds there, where 30 is what you want. We'll go back to it. It's, in a sense, it's accommodating the parent when we can that wants a heat treatment and not chemicals and doesn't want dimethicone treatment that they do on their own. So there was some suspicion, and I was like, you need to check that. Can you check that? Can you see if she has a timer? So there's this relay because I'm doing a treatment in the other room. And she came back and said, well, Alicia has not Alicia, that's what I'm calling her. Alicia has the nozzle. The air is a square nozzle, and it's built to blow the air up. And so we start at the nape and we work around in a horseshoe pattern, constantly blowing the air up. And in a sense, you're blowing the migration of the bugs to the crown too. That's where they naturally go. And she noticed that she had the air blowing down, and she asked, is there some way to adjust this? Which is clearly saying, you're not trained, and you have not been doing this all summer. If you have, you've been doing it wrong. And not in a way that advocates a follow through with a guarantee. So it's starting to sound really fishy, and I'm getting a little bit upset about her hanging her training on me as a way to build a bridge of defense. I know what I'm doing because Angela trained me. And I had to think really hard. You know what? We were in a room together, and you were doing comb outs, and it is very, very much my posterior and my front to share information. So even if you're right there, if you ask me a question, I'll tell you, this is what I'm doing. It's not rocket science, but you need to understand the methodology and not take shortcuts if you're trying to get rid of lice. So it is totally within my realm that I would have walked her through it. She may have stepped in, she may have held the applicator nozzle, but I don't believe she's had follow through on her own. And I would never say she was trained to do her own treatment with just talking it through in casual acquaintance. So after hearing that the nozzle was the wrong way, she was asking how to adjust it, which is saying she doesn't know. I'm thinking there's a lot of other things she doesn't know. And I think she stepped up her skills falsifying information so she could make more money, because you can make more money as an applicator when there were other applicators that could be doing the heat treatment, and she shouldn't have stepped up. And I apologize to the person relaying me the information that Christine had said that I may have to take a leadership position, and I'm sorry that fell through the gaps, you know. And I started to make a move conversationally, like, can you, in a way, basically call that person out? And I'm like, you know what? I'm the person to call it out, so we'll wait. And she came over because they were done on their end. So she got a heat treatment and another heat treatment done, and comb outs and oil done in the time it took me to do my heat treatment of one person. So there's not a lot that's adding up there. And I'm concerned because now she's hanging false skill set on top of me, on top of every one of the applicators here doing their job, and the business. And having the inside information, she needs money this week. Again, I did not have 3 kids because I'm cute or not cute. And that is what it is. It's probably how she got her kids, falsifying information and a skill set of follow through. Just saying, there's a parallax, whether it's in hyphens or in quotations or not. It's its own integrity. Hyphens follow through with hyphens. Okay. Anyway, she came in, I get this paperwork, and I asked her, she said she's done, blah, blah, blah. I said, I hear that you weren't holding the nozzle correctly, and I need you to mark, I want you to initial who you treated. And I did this while I was still doing my treatment, and, you know, I need you to take care of this. And I didn't know if I was going to have a confrontational conversation, like backing this up, you know, like, you know, don't march away with a lie, because I'm going to, I can follow you step by step. But she left. I didn't have to talk to her, but I think the fact that I didn't have to talk to her, that my comment to have her initial with accountability is enough to understand, to not falsify, especially on me, because I'm going to make you wear your own initial. You know, anyway, so that's for my follow through. Now, I will be able to trace, you know, the people you serviced, did they get rid of lice? Pros and cons right now. The camp has a no-knit policy, so if you see an egg, they get a treatment. What we were seeing predominantly is that the glue of the egg is very good. So white egg casings is something that's already hatched. I'd say it's probably about a 40-40 of old eggs where people didn't have a live they didn't have a live infestation. Then there's some with new nits, brown eggs, and about 10% have bugs. Those were in my treatments. So it is quite possible that her learning curve without accountability or instruction of follow through, and not seeking it, just seeking to make money for no reason, -2, she stepped up and falsified skills. It makes us all look bad. And it's, I drove home like trying not to be pissed off. I get her position. Again, I don't have 3 kids because I'm fucking cute or not cute for no reason. Just the same, she now has them. But this is not the place to be falsifying your skills. Go falsify your skills where? At Fairpoint. They're into that. Okay. At Skin Medica, and you could climb the social ladder and be an aesthetician and give me a tube of Aquaphor and invite me back for more, getting rid of my angiomas and dark spots you're fatting and fading with hyphens. Moving the same hyphenated shit around. Let's see. On a good note, there was a woman, she's a counselor leader there, young lady. A lot of people that go to camp then go back and work at camp. And I think she's working at camp. She was, I think, in charge of a bunk, and she let someone came in late. They didn't have bedding, so she let them have her blanket and pillow and whatnot. Well, they ended up having lice, and so she was concerned. She is black. She's African American. She had braids. She's concerned that she was, she let her use her blanket, and then she laid on it the next day, or she got it back. There was some kind of like, your lice head was here, now my lice head is here. Shoot. And she was just trying to help generously. And as I think anyone in that position would be inclined, would hopefully be inclined. One of the nice things about camp is there's no conversation about guns, and you've got people from all over the place and internationally, and it's rather endearing, even if you fucking have an ugly face. Someone asked me if I was a camp mom, and I'm like, no, I'm not, with a little accent. I'm like, no, I'm not a camp mom. I come here a couple of weeks, I do the lice checks and stuff, and Minnow is there, and Minnow is a little magnet, especially for little girls. Everyone wants to touch and squeeze and pet, and he's looking at me with like big eyes. Save me. He doesn't mind if I hold him then, because it's like, okay, we could do a hand at a time instead of like this total like everything. But he's that cute. The woman, she was concerned, and Ashley thought we should put oil on her head, and since I'm low on oil because my emails are not getting to Christine to get more dimethicone, I'm like, we can't do that right now, is my concern. I don't know what other applicators are bringing more oil, but in that gap of deferring, we need to wait. And then seeing the treatment flow, that I'm seeing mostly eggs here and not active bugs. And if you don't have active bugs, there's less chance of reinfection from your environment. So I was able to talk to her in passing, saying, look, we should find out who her applicator is, the person you gave the blanket to, and find out, because we're writing what we found. Was it just eggs, or or whatnot? And I also suggested for her and her braids, to do a treatment and a comb out on you is going to be traumatic because we have to take your braids out. And then you're going to be here at camp and you may want to put your braids back. For you, dimethicone treatments would be a great safeguard. And I gave her the brand name, Lice MD, and the treatment schedule. Put it on your scalp 4 times, 4 days apart. Leave it on an hour, wash it out. And why I thought that would be great for her, especially in, well, a camp setting and just in general, because it bypasses the comb out and it bypasses taking out her braids and putting her braids back in. If it were a safeguard, that's a great safeguard. But then I saw her later and she thanked me for giving her that information, and that she did find out the girl had an egg. She just had probably an old egg from an old having lice a while ago. I've seen eggs 18 inches down, white egg casings, asking a person, did you have lice? And they'll think about it and like, yeah, 2 summers ago. I'm like, okay, the glue is good. It grows out with your hair. So, and she was treated, So we talked. I really like this person. Her name's Ariana. She's from Ohio. And she liked Minnow. Minnow liked her. She has a dog. She has a chocolate lab. Its name is, she has 2. She says she has a chocolate lab, Morgan Freeman. And then she's got, I think she said it was a lab and beagle mix. And she said that one's name is Gloria Gaynor. And I said, it lays down some pipes, doesn't it? She was laughing. She's like, all the time. And you know what? I really like this person. And I really enjoyed, it's a different context. Camp is a different context. I wondered as I left if I saw this person, in Ohio, or saw them anywhere in the world in a big city, if it would be as convivial as, hey, let's just communicate and relate, and not be like in the context of you're black and you have a gun, or you don't have a gun, but we're in a context of a conversation about a gun. And I wanted to address that briefly, that law-S-T in America is a bunch of white dudes that speak of the Christ and God but can't deliver. So please understand the hues are not honest. And when you as a black person or anyone believe in God, well, you're just being set up for abuse. It's not meant for your color. It's made hyphenated also. No matter what faith and fact H you bring. What else? I have an appointment soon, so I'm going to put this on. No, you know what? Maybe I'll stop it for now.